Hey guys, 41 is a little bit of a longer lesson, so stick with me and we'll knock this stuff out. But this kind of stuff is like really important to know to be able to do. Ideally, it's best to be able to do to be able to do mentally, but on paper is fine. And it's just these are helpful too. They're not just random stuff or whatever. Finding percents are really useful in life. They always will be. Okay, many real life examples and percents are used with interest and multiplying percents and what percent of the so and so is this, or a test score, or a whatever. Percent, remember, is a part out of 100. So we're going to knock out a lot of these today. Let's do one. Write 15% in decimal and fractional form. Well, 15% is 15 out of 100. That's 15 hundredths, right? The decimal form, what you're going to want to do, anytime you see if they give you the percent like this, all you need to do is start right here and go backwards 2 times and put a decimal right there. That's the decimal form of any percent. If they give you any number, that numeral, take it and go twice over to the left, assuming that the decimal is already starting here. Go twice to the left, that is your percent. 15 hundredths is the same thing as 0.15. That's all there is to it. And if you were to actually do this, 15 divided by 100, and if you were to reduce this, 5 goes into both of those, right? So it's going to be 3 out of 20. So 3 out of 20, 3 over 20, 3 a fraction. What is that the same thing as? I forgot. 3 fractions are all some kind of problem. I can't remember. Oh yeah, division. So 3 divided by 20, like this. It's not 3 outside and 20 inside. It's 20 into 3. So you can knock out a couple of zeros there. 20 into 30 is 1, right? What's left over? 10. 20 into 100 is 5. So there we go. It's the same thing. Fractions are division problems. Did you know that? Okay. All right. Let's try another one. Write 75% as a reduced fraction. Well, 75% is 75 over 100 by definition. Reduced fraction, you could probably see that 25 goes into both of these. 3 times there and 4 times there. That's all you need to do. As a decimal, what is 75%? It's 1.75. There you go. All right. What number is 75% of 40? Well, let's take a look. There's 2 ways to do this. Either multiply, use an equation using a fraction, or you can use a decimal. Now you have to remember though that word of means to something to ply. Okay, that's it. Multiply. All right. So all you need to do is go 75% times 40. Now you can do that. Do a fraction. You can go 75% of 40. Now I would just do 40. If you want to put over 1, that's fine. Now again, you can reduce first if you want to, or you can just go across and then divide at the very end. I don't know. Let's just reduce. 10 goes in the 40 and 100, right? Goes 4 times, and then it goes, of course, 10 times. Wait, look at this. 2 goes in the 4 and 10 twice, and then it goes 5 times. Hey, look at this. 5 goes in the 5 once, and it goes in the 75. If we do the division, it goes 15 times. So look on the bottom, we have 1 times 1. So 15 times 2 is 30. Now, if you didn't do it that way, you could have gone 75 times 40. If you had gone over here, you get 3,000. Then divided by 100. Then you could just go, knock out the zeros. 30 divided by 1. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's the first way. You can do it as a fraction. Or you can do it as a decimal. And I'll do an exciting new color, dark blue. Okay, 75% of 40. Well, I don't know. That's going to be 0.75 times 40. Now remember our rule. If you want, anytime you can just, just ignore the decimals and then just go on and, add them at the very end. Your number is going to have to, your answer is going to have 2 numbers behind the decimal. So 0.75 times 0 would be 0.75. Okay? No, it won't. You know why? Because 0.75 times 0 is 0. Were you paying attention? Okay, good. That's going to be, you can put a 0 there and a 0 there if you want. Done with that. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. Here we go. So you're just going to go right down 0 and a 0 and a 0 and a 3 and your answer has to have 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal. Boop, there we go, 30.0. All right, that's it. Okay, try another one. Al took the Saxon test with 20 questions and answered 85% correctly. How many did he answer correctly? Well, that's the same thing as we just asked here, right? They're asking us what number is 75% of 40. This question is what number is 85% of 20, right? So you can do it either way you want, it doesn't matter. You could say 85% of 20 over 1 if you want. Again, you can multiply across if you want. I would knock this down. I mean, this is a piece of cake. Look, 20. Like, let's say you didn't see that 20 goes into 20 and 100. You could just say 10, right? There's 10 there, and then there's 2 there. And you might say, wait a minute, 2 and 10. Wait, 2 goes into 2 one time, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So I'm just going to go 85 times 1 and 5 times 1. So 85, a fraction. What do I do with that? What kind of problem is that? Oh, yeah. So 5 and 85. 5 and 8 is 1. What's left over? 3. 5 into 35 is 7. There's your answer. Now the other way, if you want to do it in as a decimal, you can do that too. Same old thing. So you're going to go, what is 0.85 times 20? Do all the math. Oh, look at there, 0. 85 times 2 is 0, 0. And then 85 times 2 is 170. 0, 0, 1, 7. The answer has to have 2 numbers behind the decimal. There we go. Okay, that's all there is to it. All right, try this one. You know what? Try this one on your own. Sarah bought a new car for $15. It's a small car. The sales tax rate, sorry, I should have said, was 7%. Find out how much tax she paid. Forget the total cost. Let's just find out how much tax she paid. The question is, what is 7% of 15? So go ahead. Let's write. Go ahead and pause it. Give it a shot. Come back when you're done. Okay. You're asking, what is 7% of 15? Well, 7% is 7 over 100. Don't put 70. Okay. Of 15, right? Find out how much tax she paid. Well, 7 times 15, we found out. Well, here's what we could do. We could just knock the 5 out, right? 5 goes into that 3 times. 5 goes into this 20 times. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21 divided by 20. That's our problem here. So let's just do it. 20 into 21. Not going to go perfectly. Let's just throw a couple of zeros in there. 20 into 21 is 1, of course. We can just do it this way this time if you want. Ooh. 20 into 10 doesn't work. So that'll be 0 there. 0 and a 1 and a 0. 20 into 100 is 5. So that's how much your tax is. $1.05. So obviously the total cost would be $15 plus $1.05. Now the other way to do this, if you wanted to, is to do the decimal. You could say 15%, that's 0.15 times 7, right? Okay, so we go 0.15 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. Now, that's obviously not the answer. You don't pay $105 tax on a car that costs $15 unless you live in California. All right, so we have to go, okay, there's 2 numbers behind the decimal here, so there have to be 2 numbers behind there. Boop, there we go. And that's the other way of doing it. Same thing. Okay. All right, let's try the practice set, and we'll knock that out, and I'll actually let's do each one of these at a time. So this is on pages 218 to 219. There's like 10,000 problems today. So let's just do one at a time and come back, or however you want to work it is fine. Okay, so pause it and try A at least. All right, A would be 1/2 because that's 50 over 100 reduced. Okay, pause it and try B. All right, 10 over 100 reduced is 1/10. Okay, pause it and try C. All right, I think most of us know that one. 25 over 100 is 1/4. Pause it and try D. And again, same thing. Most of us know 75 over 100. 25 goes into 75 3 and then into 100 4 times. Pause it and try E. All right, 20 over 100. You can knock that down to 2 over 10. You can knock that down again to 1/5. There you go. Pause it and try F. All right, this one is just simply 1 over 100 by definition. Okay, there we go. Good. And move on to the next page. Pause it and try G. Okay, decimal number 0.65. Anytime you see, if somebody tells you 65%, you just move it over twice. Okay, pause it and try H. All right, here's the key on this one. Make sure you didn't write 0.7. If somebody tells you, oh, it's 7%, the decimal is right there. You're already assuming, right? There's 7.0. You've got to move it over 2 times. Don't go like this. Oh, I got it 0.7. No, that's 70%. 1, then 2. The decimal is right here. If there's nothing there, you stick a 0 in there. It's 0.07. Big difference, all right? Pause it and try H. Excuse me, I. Okay, that's going to be 0.3 or 0.30, whichever one you want. Pause it and try J. Okay, 8%. Again, remember to move it over twice. It's not 0.8, it's 0.08. Pause it and try K. All right, 0.6 or 0.60, either one. Pause it and try L. Again, same thing as we did before. L, this will be 0.01, not 0.1. Pause it and try M. Okay, 10% of 350, of course, will be 335. I mean, how is this done? You could just say, 0.1 times 350. You could go, well, 10% is just basically you divide 100 by 10. You could just divide 350 by 10, and that's 35. This will work with anything, by the way. 10% of anything, you just move the decimal point over 1 time. All right, pause it and try N. All right, 25% of 48 just means basically 0.25 times 48. I doubt you can do that in your head. But it's just 1/4 of 48. If you knock down the fraction, 1/4 of 48 is the same thing as 48 divided by 4, which is 12. All right, pause it and try O. 8% of $15. Well, let's do it here real quickly. You could either go 8%, 8 over 100 times 15, and then do the the math or whatever. What I would do if I were you is I would say, let's knock this down to 3. That's 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into this 20 times. Okay, so 8 times 3 is 24 divided by 20. So just go over here and do it. 24 divided by 20. Or if you wanted to, you could knock down the fraction. But let's say you didn't see that. 24 divided by 20. We'll do this here. 20 into 24 is 1. There's 4 left over. The decimal there, and that's going to be 2. The money, you wouldn't say, oh, that's $1.2. You would say it's $1.20. Now, again, that's the fraction way. If you wanted to say 15 times 8%, again, that's going to be 0.08. Make sure you do that, all right? So 0.08. All right, so 15 times 8 is 120. 0 times all this, so you can do it this way. And here, and you look at this, you go, okay, my answer, oh, wait a minute. It has to have 2 numbers behind the decimal. There we go, 1.2. That's it. All right, pause it and try P. Only 2 more. All right, 9.5% on a $9 estimate is what we're doing. Okay, so just estimate, we're going to go, it's $10. Okay, so the question is, what is 9.5% on a $10 purchase? All right, now that, I know probably go, wow, this is so tricky. Okay, 9.5%. That's going to be the same thing as 9.5%. Remember that? 9.5%. Now, to take a number and find the percent of it, remember how many times you move the decimal? Okay, let's do it. There we go. And our number is 0.095. Of 10 means times 10, right? Okay, well, you might even see how much this is. If you move it over, if you multiply it by 10, you can move it over 1 time. So the answer will be 0.95 cents. Or you could just say 0.95 over 1,000 multiplied by 10 and do the division or whatever. It's going to be 95 cents. All right, pause it and try Q, last one. Okay, 80% of 30 questions, of means multiply, right? So you've got to go, okay, well, that's 0.8 times 30. You could do it a couple of ways. You could say 0.8 times 30 and just do, okay, 30 times 0.8. And I'm going to go, that's going to be 240. I need 1 number behind the decimal to match this. And then, there we go, 24. Or you could say 81 hundredths. times 30. And you could look at this and you could knock it down and you go, okay, let's see here. 30 goes into, oh wait, 80 goes into 100. I'm going to do that. That's going to go 8 times, 10 goes into both there, and, oh, wait a second. 2 goes into both of those. Oops, I should have written 4, and then that's going to be 5, and 4 over 5 times 30. Oh, wait a minute. 30 and 5 goes into 5 one time, and goes into this 6 times. So on top I have 4 times 6 is 24. On the bottom I have 1, same old thing. Okay. All right. If you're struggling with these, don't worry. The practice method that Saxon uses will help you through this. Try to get at least half of these problems right the next several weeks. If you get, about that many, look, are you truly doing the best you can on these? Are you trying as hard as you can and not just slopping around? If that's the case, it's okay. You're going to make progress. You won't get them all right. You'll look at the ones in the solutions menu and go, what? I missed it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know what that is. That's okay. In the future, you'll be getting steadily more and more of these correct. So don't worry about it. All right. Do a good job with that mental math. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.